Hey guys, techmadeezy, and thank you so much for clicking on our video today. And guess what? We've got the brand new Bluetti EB3A portable power station. Guys, what makes this unique is it is a lithium iron phosphate battery power station, and it is actually one of the smallest that I have ever seen. So I'm super excited about that. And let me just say, the testing that we did over a month, we can't wait to share some of the information with you. And I will say this too, Bluetti really listened to us and did a lot of the updates we were asking for. So be prepared to check that out, okay? Now, in this review, I will tell you, I'm going to show you the app because it's got an app, which is really nice. I'm going to be unboxing it. I'm going to be doing an overview. I'm going to be doing close-ups with this machine. I'm going to show you some of the capabilities, but I'm also going to be doing a little bit of different testing with this one. I'm going to try to make it more lifestyle testing, all right? Not just plugging in a heater and seeing if it can power it. So look forward to that. I'm even going to be doing a refrigerator test to see how long this power station will power a refrigerator. So check that out. And again, after using it for a month, I'm going to share my pros and I'm going to share my cons. So let's get started, guys. Hi, this is Al from techmadeezy with a really quick message. The video you're about to watch is sponsored. We received this product from the vendor. But keep in mind, we will be very honest with you as we review the product. That is very important to us. If you like our video, I sure hope you give us a thumbs up. I hope you share our video. And last, I really hope you subscribe and become a part of the family. Thank you. Let's go ahead and get this unboxed. And there it goes, the EB3A. And guess what? We even have Mower Joe hanging out with us today as we unbox this beautiful power station. Now, I don't know why they call it the EB3A. I'd love to find out. If I do, I'll post a note. But as you can see here, you get your user manual. You get your warranty card, which you can do online as well. You get a certificate with a quality, for a QC pass for the quality check. And you get your AC cord in the box. And I don't know if you noticed, but there's no power brick. Bluetti is known to always have an external power brick. And that's one nice upgrade. It actually plugs right into here. Right in, so your power brick is built in. Thank you, Bluetti. That was a really nice upgrade. Now, I will tell you, when we received our EB3A, we did not receive the solar cable. So I contacted them and they told me that this is an earlier unit, but customers will receive an AC cord and they will receive a solar cable with the MC4 connector so you could plug in a solar panel. Now, you will not get a car charging cable. You won't get this. You'll have to purchase this separate. I'll try to get a link and put it in the description if you do need that. But in order to bring the price down like they did on this unit, they had to do a couple of things. But you're still getting a lithium iron phosphate battery with this and a whole lot more. So let's go ahead and continue on with this review. Let's take some time and actually go over some basics. So the full price on this is $299. This has a 600 watt pure sine wave inverter, and what that means to you is it's real clean power. It's great for your sensitive electronic. The inverter will surge to 1200 watts, so if you have anything that you're plugging in that has a surge, you're covered up to 1200 watts, which is nice. The battery capacity is 268 watt hours. All right, so that's the size of the battery. The chemistry of this battery is lithium iron phosphate. And that is a huge hit for anyone that's looking for a power station. Why? Because you will get a whole lot more life out of your battery. Now, it's heavier and it's also bigger. And that's the reason why, with everything they have in here, it has a 268 watt hour battery. The life cycles on this guy is 2,500, and then it goes to 80%. Think about how many years you'll be able to use this. So that's pretty cool. Now, let's take some time and go over some of the ports and things like that. The first thing I want to point out is the handle folds right in, which is really cool. And then you're able to use the wireless charger. And currently, it'll cover you up to 15 watts. And if your phone uses less, like a 5 watt or a 7.5 watt, this will work fine as well. We'll show you this later on in the video. Now, going into the front here, you've got your DC, right? And what is the big difference between using DC and using AC? If you use DC, you're going to find that your battery will last you a little longer. When you're using AC, the AC does have a small drain because it's actually got an inverter that will actually use a little bit of extra power. So as you can see here, we've got a car charging port with a nice cover. We've got 2 DC barrel plugs. Now, if you're not sure how to use these, I'll be honest with you, there's an accessory that I always promote that, basically just plugs right in. So you can convert the barrel plugs to a car charging port. You can get a few of these. We'll put these in the description because we really big fans of actually converting these. And you can plug in, your phone with a car charger and other devices. All right. Now, as we go down here, and let me zoom in a little bit, this port right here is a barrel plug. And what happens is, I'll show you with the solar cable, right? So when you look at the solar cable, let me zoom out maybe, huh? When we look at the solar cable, we've got one side with the MC4, so you can connect these to your solar panels, and the other side is a barrel plug. So when you're going to charge this using a solar panel, you're going to put this inside here and plug this into your solar panel, and now you'll actually recharge your unit with the free sun. The car charger also goes into this same port as well, okay? So that is an input, and that will give you access to your MPPT controller, which is really for solar, all right? You've got the entry point for your power plug. So you can just take this guy now, as I talked about earlier, very excited that the power brick is built in. So we just plug that in. We plug the other end into a wall, and we don't have to worry about carrying a power brick anymore, which is really nice. It's got a circuit protector, all right, 120 volt AC 10 amp circuit protector. So we also have 2 USB, and then we've got 1 Type-C USB. And what's nice about this is actually 100 watts. So you can plug laptops into this, like PowerBooks, and it'll supply enough power to actually charge it, which is really cool. All right. You've got 2 AC outlets here. All right. Again, 600 watt with a 1200 watt surge. And then you've got the LED light. All right. And we'll demo that in a moment so you can see it actually has low, high, and SOS. All right, I am in the guest room and it's pitch black. And we're going to go ahead and turn this light on so you can see how bright it is. So we're going to start off with low. Then we're going to go to high. All right, and I'm going to aim it, I guess. SOS. Okay, and then we're going to go off. Now let me go back to low for a minute. So there's low, and it actually kind of is an aim light, right? So let me zoom out a little bit more. Oh, there's a spider on the bed. I like leaving that there when I have guests come over. So again, low and high. There you go. Let's take a moment and go over the screen and also the power buttons at the same time. Now, when you tap any of the 2 buttons, it's just going to turn the screen on. That's all it's going to do. So if I tap this button here, you're going to see this wonderful new screen that they have. They have battery percentage now, which is phenomenal. They also have a countdown, which is nice. Output and input wattage. So love that. But as you could see, all I did was tap this and it turned the screen on, right? Now the DC is not on and the AC is not on. But if I want to turn DC on, all I do is press the button again. All right. And basically you could see the green light. So that tells you your DC is on. Press it again, DC is off, the screen is on, and the screen will turn off in a little while. AC, press the button, AC is on because the screen is already on. If you want to power the unit off, any one of these two buttons, just hold them down and it'll turn off the unit. And it also turned off AC, as you can see. But that screen, I love that. That's a really nice update. Now it's time to demonstrate wireless charging. But I want to give you some information. In the last couple of weeks, as we tested wireless charging, we realized that it definitely works a whole lot better with your case off. We charged our Z Fold 3 with this case on, and we charged the iPhone 13 with this case on. But it didn't stay on long. For some reason, wireless charging paused after 30 seconds and turned off. So we realized at that point that the cases had to be off. And when we took the cases off, wireless charging worked perfectly. So let me go ahead and show you wireless charging with the cases off. So let's start off with the Samsung Z Fold 3. You know, the camera sticks up a little bit, but when you lay this down in the center, it picks it up pretty fast. It's nice that you don't have to move it around. And it does show here that it's wirelessly charging, right? Let's go ahead and put the iPhone 13 down. And that picked it up pretty quick. And then what's cool is in the corner, you can see that lightning bolt. So you know it's charging. Now while it's charging, if you just tap the button here, the screen will show you how much wattage it's using to charge the phone. It is a 15 watt fast charger. It is using 9 watts currently to charge the iPhone. So you've seen the front and you've seen the top. We showed you the handle. We showed you the wireless charging. On the left side, you have ventilation. And on the right side, you have ventilation. The back is pretty plain. Nothing going on there. And then on the bottom, you do have some nice rubber feet. You know, they're a little on the thick side, which is good. So if you're going to place this on something that maybe you don't want to scratch, like a floor or a tabletop, well, you're covered. It's got 4 of them. So it'll do the job. And that was a quick peek. I'm currently doing a firmware upgrade, and they've got 2 upgrades. One is called ARM, and that successfully went through, as you can see here. And then there's a DSP one. So let me connect real quick. There it goes. All right, and let me go to the settings button here. Firmware upgrade. And as you can see, DSP. So we'll download that. We'll hit start. And the screen, I guess, yeah, has some type of lines on it while it's doing the upgrade. I wanted to show you an accessory I forgot to show you earlier. So let's say you don't use USB Type-C. And you would love to have another USB Type-A, like these guys, right? Well, guess what? They make a cable. This is a generic cable. And all you do is you plug this in to the USB Type-C, and it now gives you a USB Type-A. Is that cool? And guess what? What if you want the opposite? What if you want more USB Type-Cs? Well, guess what? They make an accessory that'll convert a USB Type-A to a USB Type-C. Check that out. All you do is push it in, you now have two USB Type-Cs. I'll put these in the description if you're interested in picking these up. So one of the questions you might have is, what is eco mode? And eco mode is basically environment friendly. So you leave your power station on, and I believe it has to be under 20 watts. So anything that's draining less than 20 watts, this will turn off on its own. Now you can go into the settings. So if you're in the app, you would hit this little gear here, and you see eco mode is on, and then you can change the eco setting to say turn off in an hour, turn off in 2 or 3 or 4 hours. So if you set it for an hour and all of a sudden what you have connected to it is draining less than 20 watts, this Bluetti will turn off on its own. So one feature that the Bluetti has is UPS. And although my shipper that actually sent this to me was UPS, it has nothing to do with it. As you can see here on the screen, it says UPS. And what that stands for is Uninterrupted Power Supply. And so some people actually use this to plug devices into, and then they plug this into the wall, and it kind of gives them that backup power. So if they ever lose power, the power station kicks in very quickly. All right. So I have a light, as you can see, connected to the Bluetti. And I've got the Bluetti plugged in to the wall. And that wall is actually connected to that switch up there. So when I hit that switch, the UPS is going to kick in because it's going to lose power, and then it's going to provide power to whatever is connected to it. So let's go ahead and see how fast it actually works. And the light itself will actually flicker really quick. I'm going to count to 3. 1, 2, 3. Do you see how fast that happened? Obviously, the UPS is now off because it's no longer receiving power from the wall because the switch is off. All right? So let's try that again. Now I'm going to turn on the switch up here. All right, it's going to turn the UPS back on in a moment because it's going to start receiving power from the cable. All right, so there it goes. And now let's go ahead and watch the light while I hit the switch. So you could see the flicker. 1, 2, 3. Again, you see how fast? So that's pretty cool. And it's good to know it works. And I'll find out how many milliseconds, and I'll post it right over here. All right, we're in the kitchen, and we're at 0%. What we're going to do is we're going to go in the app now. We're going to go to Settings in the upper right-hand corner. We're going to make sure Turbo is on, because this is going to allow us to charge this at a high rate. And I want to test that, because that is a new feature of the EB3A. So it's on Turbo, and I took eco mode off also. Now if you click this, just so you'll know, you will get standard, turbo, and silent. All right, but let's go ahead and plug this in and see what wattage we get and how long it takes. By the way, it is currently let's just say 5:40. All right, 5:40 p.m. So let's plug this in at 5:40 p.m. and see how long it will take. And let's see what wattage we get with this new display. All right, so 190, 230, 326, 419, 430. So I think 430 is the turbo mode speed. And what I'll do is, based off the website, I'll go ahead and put it up here just to make sure. What's the fastest speed turbo can charge, and the most wattage, I should say. So 5:40 p.m. Let's see how long this takes. By the way, we're a few minutes in at most. Do you even realize how quiet this is right now? I mean, the previous Bluetti power station that I actually used, I had a big brick with a fan on it. It was so loud. I mean, it was a nice power station, but I mean, I guess the temperature on this is really cool right now. There is no sound of any fan whatsoever. And it's on turbo mode, not silent mode. So we've got 4% already. All right, it's 5:50 p.m. and the fan has kicked on. If you can hear that. "5:50 p.m. we have 22% charge. So it is 6:02 p.m. It is 22 minutes in. We're at 50% already. 22 minutes in, 50% charged. Not bad. We are 35 minutes in to testing. 35 minutes in. This is 75% charged. We noticed around 73% the fan turned off. It started slow charging. As you can see, it's inputting 100 watts. But think about that. 35 minutes in, it's 75% charged. And now it's just going to slow charge the battery maybe towards the last 30%, I guess. So you hear that sound? It's a weird sound that starts. It's like a buzzing sound, like you think a buzzer's going off. And then your fan kicks in. A little weird, but it's doing its job. There's that sound. %, still pumping about 100, and so much watts. So it's really still slow charging this thing. But I wanted to do a temperature check. So the counter itself, 78, right? 78. But let's check the unit. Now, I found this area here to be a hot spot. I guess it's, really where the battery is. It's got to be somewhere in there, but it's really hot. So check this out. I'm going to scan here. And look at that. Is that nuts? 107.4 degrees right there on the top. I highly recommend slow charging, guys. It's definitely going to make your batteries last longer. So 1 hour and 20 minutes, it's 100%. We're also getting a temperature warning right here. All right, let me take this off so you could see it. So yeah, I mean, interesting. Fully charged, 100%, hour and 20 minutes. All right, we don't have a charge on this thing, but for some reason, it lets us connect to the app. We are going to go to standard charging now. All right, and let me just make sure that took. So we're standard charging, so it's about 200 and something watts. We'll see how long this takes. I'll go ahead and plug this in, and we'll just watch the wattage temporarily just to see what we get. Okay, we're plugged in, and 200, 60, 70. Okay, so about 260 some odd watts, and I wish that screen stayed on longer. But all right, we'll see how long it'll take based off that wattage. But time now is actually 4:19 based off the phone. It's 4:19 p.m. So we are starting our charge. We'll see how long it takes. 4:19 p.m. We're at 50%. We started at 4:19 p.m. It is now 4:50 p.m. Okay, So not bad. Not bad at all for 31 minutes to get to 50%. This thing's moving pretty quick. It's 78% charged. It is 5:08 p.m. All right, 5:08 p.m. So we're almost, 10 minutes shy of, 11 minutes shy of an hour. And we're 79% charged. Not bad, considering, there goes that fan. So far, we're in this an hour and 18 minutes, 99%, 537. So an hour and 18 minutes, 99%, slow charging, 104 watts. So should be fully charged any moment. We'll check and we'll let you know. All right, an hour and 22 minutes it looks like. 541. It's fully charged. Now the weird thing is it says 99%. I always thought it said 100%. Maybe I'm wrong. I'll have to check that earlier. But 99% fully charged. Can't go anymore. It's not taking any more wattage. And it does have a temperature light again. Now it's interesting. It was only charging maybe 100 watts towards the end, and as high as around 270 in the beginning. Again, this is standard charging, not turbo charging. I'm not going to check the temperature. It is warm back here, But yeah, so there you go. All right, I want to plug this back in because that 99% bugged me. So I just want to see if this will take maybe a little more of a charge. Let me plug that in. And let's see. Oh, okay. The temperature thing is gone, of course, because the battery's cooler, and it's 100%. All right, that's good news. That 99% bugged me a little while ago. One feature every battery power station should have. I find it very beneficial. It's called pass-through charging. And what that means is while I am charging this Bluetti with the AC cord plugged in the wall, and let's just turn on the screen. So we're getting 266 watts from the wall, right? You can see here from the grid. So we are charging. But the question is, while we're charging, can we charge or power something else? And that's called pass-through charging. And so let's just check that out. I've got the plug in already. All I've got to do now is turn on the AC outlet. So let's find out. Okay, it's lighting up. The output wattage is going up. All right, 150, 200, 240. Yep, look at that. It works. It has pass-through charging, which is a phenomenal feature. And listen, make sure your battery power station has that. All right, put a comment below. Let me know if you have a power station that's got pass-through charging. Let me know what make and model it is. All right, let's talk about it. But it's working. And look at that, 300 and some odd watts. Real nice. So here is a test that might be a little more realistic to what you would do. Now we've got our Sonos speaker, we've got our TV, we've got our router, we've got our modem, we've got our security cameras set up, we've got even our cloud backing up our photos, our Philips Hue control. So we're going to add a fan to keep us cool, and why not plug in a refrigerator? So we're going to go ahead right now and unplug everything, and let's see if this will power this. All right, so we took the plug from the wall. As you can see, everything is pretty off, right? We've got our Roku off, we've got our home internet off, everything. Our modem, our TV, our speakers off, our fans off. So what we're going to do now is we're going to go ahead and turn this on. All right, it's on, it's as 100%. Let's go ahead and turn on the outlets. Okay, And let's see, you know, the lights are turning on, the wattage is going up. So let's see what we get in wattage for a moment. And then we're going to connect the refrigerator. Now I'm going to turn the fan on also. And it hopefully won't be too noisy. But we're going to put the fan on low. Hopefully that's not in our way as far as sound, because sometimes the fans are. So let me move the fan out of the way. So right now we're pulling 215 watts. All right, now when we connect the refrigerator, it might jump up a little bit, but, and actually, you know what I'll do? I'm gonna unplug this so we could see the wattage coming from the refrigerator. So let's go ahead and do that. Everything's starting to turn on, by the way. You could see the lights there. This is turning on. Our modem's connecting. So our internet's gonna take a few minutes, right? But let's go ahead and plug in the refrigerator. All right, our refrigerator's plugged in, but it's off because it's not powered by the power station. Again, we're going to do another test after this you're going to be interested in seeing, and we're going to include the model number and the cubic inches of this refrigerator again. But let's go in the living room and plug this in and see how much power it'll pull initially. Okay, so we're pulling 200 and some odd watts. We're about to plug the refrigerator in now. Let's watch this for a moment. It'll jump up and then it'll go down and stuff, you'll see. So let's push this in all the way. We have 390 temporarily. That's the surge from the refrigerator. And so now let's go to our refrigerator and see if that's powered. So the end of the plug is yellow and our refrigerator is being powered. So let's go into the living room and just watch the wattage for a minute. Now, we've got lights behind our TV. It's actually powering these also. But yeah, look, this is coming online. Okay, this is online. Our Roku is now connected. Our modem is now looking like it's connected. And check that out. I mean, think about it. Now, we have 95% battery. So we've lost 5%. Just in a short period of time. But the good news is this is only 220 some odd watts now. It might go up to like 350 or so, maybe 400, you know, when the refrigerator does what it needs to do. It's a very efficient refrigerator. But a fan, your internet, your security cameras, a TV, your modem, everything, all being powered by the Bluetti. Pretty cool. Well, guess what? We're now going to see how long this Bluetti can run a refrigerator. That's our next test. All right, let's check that out. All right, guys, it is 9 o'clock in the morning. We're going to do a refrigerator test with the new Bluetti EB3A. Now, this is not going to go too long because it doesn't have a huge battery, but it's got a battery that will last you for years, and hopefully you saw that in the beginning of the video. Now, the refrigerator we're using is currently turned off. We're going to go ahead and turn on the EB3A, and we're going to press the button again. It's going to turn on the inverter, and then you'll see the initial load. All right, 168 watts was the highest we saw, okay? All right, now it went down to 0. Look, this refrigerator is a newer refrigerator. I believe we bought this in 2021. So what I'm going to do to help you out is I'm going to put some information on this side of the screen with the model and the make and the size of the refrigerator. Okay? And that'll help you understand which refrigerator we're using, because you'll get different results if you have a really old refrigerator. But for now, it's 9 o'clock. Let's see how long this lasts. All right, my fiance and the 2 boys will be here. We'll be using this like we normally do. We are not going to unplug it. I know some subscribers say that you can unplug it every hour or every 2 hours, and you probably could because these guys will stay cold. But we're going to run this and see how many hours we get. I don't think we'll get a day. I'll be back. All right, guys, we are about an hour and a half into the test. It's almost 10:30. We started the test at 9 a.m., me in Brooklyn. And, you know, refrigerator's on, working well. And what do we got here on wattage? And we got 9 watts just showed up real quick. 78% battery left. So not bad, not bad. Again, you know, just nice, simple test, right, Brooklyn? She's a sweet girl hanging out with me. Closing in on 3 hours, and I believe we're close to 50%. Yeah, 51% with 89 watts going out currently right now. So 51%, a little shy of 3 hours. And Brooklyn's at the groomer, so she can't be in this shot. Well, maybe she can. She's on the refrigerator. All right, Brooklyn came in to join us. It's a little after 1 o'clock, so we're like 4 hours and 5 minutes. And look, we've got 25% left on the battery, about 92 watts going out, 92 watts going out. So 25% left. We're 4 hours in with this Bluetti EB3A. Not bad, huh? Brooklyn, are you impressed? What do you think? She likes it. All right, 10 minutes after 2, so we're 5 hours and 10 minutes into the test, and we have 2% battery left with 89 watts going out to the refrigerator. All right, we've already got that red battery low thing going on. So who knows? Is it 10 more minutes? Is it 15 more minutes? But 2%, 10 minutes after 2, so that's 5 hours and 10 minutes into our test. All right, it is 3:01 p.m. We are 6 hours and 1 minute into this test, and it's dead. We got to plug our refrigerator back in, and yeah, 6 hours and 1 minute. Not bad for a small unit like that. Yeah, we need to plug this back in. So there you go. Good test. So one of the things I like to do is I like charging my batteries with my power station. Now, I'll tell you why in a little while, but let's go ahead and just test this out and see if it works well. Now, I believe this is around 300 to 400 watts, this charger. So this is up to 600 watts and a 1200 watts surge. So not bad. Let's turn this on and kind of watch and see what goes on. All right. Wattage is going up. 160, 200, 250, 300, 350. Will it hit 400? I think it will. Here we go, 400 watts. Wow, all right. 430 some odd watts. And obviously it's handling it like a champ. So this will work. But now, let me tell you why I like recharging my batteries with my power station. The reason why I like charging my batteries with my power station is I charge my power station with the sun. I love having this, right? Because it's great for emergencies and all that, but why should I plug this into a wall and charge it and pay for electricity when you can buy a solar panel and actually charge this and then use that electricity that you got from the sun to charge or power other devices? So I'm going to show you an image right here on a video we did, and it's pretty detailed. It's actually very helpful. We'll put a link in the description on that video. You want to check that out. But let's go ahead and plug this into solar and see how well it works as well. So here's the solar cable that's included when you get the Bluetti EB3. So we're going to take this and we're going to plug it into the input right here on the front. All right, now we would do the same with the car charger, which is optional, but we're going to plug that in. And now we have 40 feet of solar cable. You do want to go out and buy some solar cable because you don't want this sitting in the sun with the solar panel. I always recommend keep this in a cool place and just buy yourself, you know, some solar cable. Now, you can go 10 feet, you can go 20 feet. This is a 10 AWG cable. We'll put the link in the description and you can choose the size you want. But what we're going to do here is going to connect these cables. So very simple, right? Male to female. Push it all the way in. Female to male. Okay, so your cables are now connected. We are now connected to the Bluetti. Let's go back and connect to this solar panel that I got set up. I got a 200 watt panel. Let me check that out. Let me tell you now, in order to angle your panel properly to get the most wattage out, we found this adapter and we've been testing it. And the goal is to get that dot in the center, the shadow. It'll tell you that you have your panel angled 100% perfectly. All right. Now, we did a video on this also, and we're going to put the image up right there. And again, we'll put the link in the description. But let's go and show you how this works and connect it to the panel. So that's our 200 watt panel. And it's nice, you know, because it meets the specs of the Bluetti. So all you do is just take your hand for a minute, and I want you to see that that dot is almost dead center. That's very acceptable. Now, if I lean this back some, you'll see that it goes more center. So what I'm going to do is take the panel, I'm going to lay it down a little bit more. All right, that might be perfect. Let's see. Oh wow, that's almost perfect. I'm accepting that. That's perfect. So you take this, put it back in your pocket, you know, and now we just connect the panel. And then, you know, look, the Bluetti can handle up to 200 watts. So again, very simple, right? Male to female. Push it in all the way, female to male. Let's go over to the Bluetti now and see what magic we got. All right, we're starting to get our input on the solar panel. All right, so 99 watts coming in so far, and output to the charger 391 watts. So this is going up slowly. 106. Now you're not going to get the whole 200 watts the panel offers you, no matter how good you have the angle on that panel. So just keep in mind, okay? So just watch. It'll go down and then go back up. It just does that for some reason initially. But let's take a moment. We're getting 119, 135. That's really good out of a 200 watt panel. 138. So look at that. We are charging while we are discharging. Is that cool or what? So there you go. That works with that beautiful 200 watt panel. I'm just going to take a quick minute and go over the app. Now, I'm going to assume that you don't have an account, and I'll tell you some of the benefits of having an account, okay? So, as you can see here, you can log in, or you can hit connect. So we're just going to hit connect, and it's going to use Bluetooth. There is no Wi-Fi, okay? So you select your Bluetti. Okay, here we go. We've got our Bluetti. And now we're going to hit OK. And what it's going to do now is it's just going to show you what's on, or in this case, your input or your output. We currently have DC on, so we just said, let's just turn DC on, you know, and do this demo. So again, solar or DC if you're charging. The grid if you're powering the device. Obviously, this is your output. So if your DC is on, then it'll show you how many watts are being used. If your AC is on, it will show you how many watts are being used, okay? There's your battery percentage in the middle. You can manually turn on and off DC and AC. Now AC does have an inverter, so in the background it will start to use a little bit of wattage. DC is always more efficient. Now if you go to settings in the corner here, you can change the mode. So this is your charging mode, and you've got standard, turbo, and silent. Silent, we didn't test silent, and I believe silent just doesn't turn the fan on at all. I do believe using standard would probably be the best way to go, because the fan will turn on from time to time to cool the unit and the batteries. Turbo, a little bit more wattage in the beginning there. Eco mode. Now, eco mode basically will turn this unit off at a set period of time. 1 hour, 2 hour, 3 hour, and 4. The LED light, you can control it from the app if you want. And you can do firmware updates as well. So one feature that is pretty new to Bluetti from my knowledge is something called power lifting. I've never seen it, and I've done a couple of reviews at this point. So when you turn this on, what this is for, just so you'll know, is let's say you want to power a heater that's 800 watts, and you know that this is a 600 watt unit. Well, it'll run the heater, and what it'll do is it'll lower the voltage in order to do that. So it does state in the app, suitable for powering 1200 watt max heating devices, pure resistive load. The rated output power remains 600 watts. Do not power refrigerator, air conditioner, etc. So, just good to know. Now a quick note on should you register or should you just use the app to connect to the device. You know, we went on Bluetti's website and we created an account. And 2 days later, we tried to log in to this app using that account, and it didn't take the account. So we ended up having to register on the app, and that worked. The difference is really in using the app in a guest mode situation is you can change the working mode, right? Standard, turbo, silent. We showed you that earlier. You can turn on eco, you know, the LED light. You can turn on power lifting. We went over that before, and you can do firmware updates. So that's fine. Now, the interface is a little different if you register. So, you know, you can add multiple devices when you register, so you can have them all in one place. You can get service on, you know, your Bluetti if you need to, and you can, you know, chat with the community, stuff like that. So, you know, to access a device, you would hit direct access, and then it would give you this screen. You can also rename your device. No big deal, right? But we were able to rename the device. And you can also share the device. So if you click share, it'll bring up a QR code, and then you'll allow someone else to have access to the device, I guess in a Bluetooth range, right? Because there's no Wi-Fi. So that's about it on registering or not registering with the Bluetti app. So here it is. This is exactly the scenario and perfect solution for these devices. The EB3A is a nice little unit, and you're not going to take it on a job site and plug in power tools. You're just not. Can it power tools? Probably, but the battery is a small capacity battery. The technology is phenomenal, lithium iron phosphate, but you're going to use this out and about to power your full-size gaming laptop, your iPad, charge your batteries for your drones, wirelessly charge your devices, plug in multiple phones and 2-in-1 laptops. It's going to be perfect. All right. So to me, this is a perfect scenario for this specific device. Now, why don't we move forward? I'm going to cover specs, and I'm also going to cover my pros and my cons. So let's go ahead and do that. All right, guys. So we are going to bring up some specs so you can look them over and hit pause. We're also going to go over our cons and our pros. But just so you'll know, the links will be in the description for this product. It sells for $300, but it has been going on sale. And if you use our links, you support our channel at no additional cost to you. But let's go ahead and bring up the specs. Again, hit pause if you want to review them, and we're going to move on to cons and pros. So we're going to start with cons and end with pros. So one of the cons is you don't get a car charger. Now, they did that to lower the cost of the unit, so I do understand. But it would have been nice if it was included, so that is a con. Another con is the app only offers Bluetooth. It doesn't offer Wi-Fi. Now, the benefits to Wi-Fi are you can remotely monitor the Bluetti and you can remotely control it. But because it doesn't have Wi-Fi, you can't do that. The other con we have is this screen only stays on for a minute, and there's no way to control it. They really should have put that in the app so that you could say 30 seconds, 1 minute, never. You know, sometimes you need the screen to be on longer. Hopefully that will be updated in a firmware update. That would be great. All right. Now, when we use Bluetooth, we found, after we were about 20 feet away, that the app would disconnect. And, sometimes we had a wall in between us, sometimes we didn't. So I don't know if everyone's experience is going to be that, but we thought the Bluetooth connectivity wasn't as good as it should be. Last but not least, I wish they would change this down here on the bottom. You see the 17.4 hours? So when you're charging or you're discharging, I wish they actually had hours and minutes. Sometimes it'll come up, it'll say 0.2 hours. Average consumers, they don't understand that. So if they can change this to hours and minutes, and that'll be towards charging or discharging, that would be great. But those are our cons. Now, why don't we go ahead and cover our pros? We're covering our pros, and I have to say our list is a lot longer. Look, it is really, really nice to have a lithium iron phosphate power station that's small and portable. So I think that's phenomenal. So our number one, well, not really in order, but our first pro is we like the display. It's not perfect. You can read it. You now have input, output, and a percentage of your battery. So we like that. We also like, as a pro, we've got an app. So we have some ability, and I believe with firmware updates and software updates, we're going to get more and more with Bluetti and the EB3A. We also love that we don't have a power brick anymore. That's noisy. This is all you do now is plug the plug-in here on the bottom, which I like that it's covered, and that's it. The power brick is built in, and this unit is actually pretty quiet, so we like that. Another pro, is the technology in the battery. We mentioned it earlier, lithium iron phosphate. This thing has 2,500 cycles, and then it goes to 80%. So this should last you years, which is really nice. We love the weight and the size of the unit. We talked about that already. We like that it includes a 100-watt USB Type-C. We really feel it, for the size, that it's got enough ports. It's got USB, USB Type-C, it's got your DC and your AC outlets. So we feel pretty good about that. We do like the faster charging. So we tried turbo and we tried standard. Now, the interesting thing is we really got a very similar time frame of an hour and 10 minutes, hour and 20 minutes to fully charge this from zero. So we couldn't find a major difference between standard and turbo, but turbo, we were getting 400 and something watts. Standard, we were getting 200 and something watts, and yet the unit was fully charged at the end around the same time. So very interesting. We love that this handle lays down so you can put items on top. So we do like that, which is really cool. We like that you have 9 ways to power your devices, which is really nice. And I think the last thing, again, if I'm mentioning it, it is a much quieter unit. So we really, really like that. So, final judgment, look, for the price, for the size, and getting lithium iron phosphate battery, I mean, this is a steal. Well-made unit, very known, the brand is very well known, which is nice. And we feel this is definitely worth the price point of even at $200 or $300. We really do here on the channel. Guys, thank you so much. Have a wonderful day. Give us a thumbs up. We would really appreciate that. It helps the channel. Hey, if you're not a subscriber, subscribe, join the family. You'll see me, you'll see Brooklyn. Well, you won't see me, but you'll see Brooklyn, all right? And share our video. Share our video with your friends, your family, if they're thinking of getting a small power station just in case. Thank you so much, guys. Have a great day. Hey, guys, take a moment and give us a thumbs up. We'd really appreciate it. As you can see, Brooklyn, she's waving her tail for you. Take a moment and subscribe. Don't forget to hit the bell and you'll get notified of new videos we come out with. Also, follow us and contact us on Instagram, Twitter, or Facebook. We'd love to have you. Thank you so much and have a wonderful day.